away. The fight is over. An advantage for Burnex Flash.
This is a disaster for the Yellow Porcupines. They lost almost all of their members, and they had to give the neutral objective away to Burn X Flash. What is going on? What are Onyx doing?
See, they could stay calm earlier, but now is where they need to be concerned. They lost a mid-game power spike fight for themselves. Kyrie missing the red tree, a few missed mechanics happening throughout the team fight here, and you can see just that positioning was not enough. Keyboy wasn't zoning anyone away from the turtle, and there's a lot of miscommunications happening from Onyx that gave Burnex Flash such a massive edge. Not also to point out that Donut was just mechanically sound in that skirmish.
I gotta say as well, man, D7 is taking care of Donut so well because he's always front lining, making sure that he absorbs the shadow coming out of Hayabusa. And looking at the items as well, having the dominance eye in the early stages of the game, it looks like just having that makes it so that you're tanky enough to deal with a Hayabusa that has a Hunter Strike.
Seems like here, he actually maneuvered away from the Heptaseas. He's going for a BOD, I believe. Kyrie is going full damage here, and he's trying to just, I feel like, bank on the fact, double down that he can try to kill Donut. He has to be careful though, because Burnex Flash in the mid game now, they're always going to be grouped up. It's never going to be Donut alone.
So right now, very simple question. If both teams scale up, who has the advantage here?
Oh, I would actually say it's Burnex Flash, because obviously for Onyx, they do have damage, but Burnex Flash can bait out a lot more resources from Onyx than Onyx can from Burnex Flash. The only thing that Onyx can bait out is probably that time journey, right? Meanwhile, for Burnex Flash, they go for one good engage, they catch one good member, and Onyx Comp will have to retaliate with a full all-in. They need to go in, or they're going to get poked down, and they're going to fall.
Let's see, right? You can see that the Lord has already spawned here in the Land of Dawn. Burnex Flash, they're going to try and set up for it first, but remember the top lane is going to be pushing for boots, so that definitely is something that EXF need to take care of. They need to be understanding of the presence of the map, but here we go. Are they going to go for a pickoff?
We're actually looking at the bottom side because Boots here was able to actually steal away their purple buff. And now, again, this is where the arena starts to get online, where you can spam all your skills.
Exactly.
Real manipulation used by Zcash, but unable to take down CW.
Onyx are still actually holding on to the gold lead despite losing that mid-game skirmish, and this just goes to show how efficient they are at farming. CW, Sans, and Kyrie, they're able to still withstand and actually have an equal level with a good shot from CW. Also, that poke will definitely help them in the fights to come. They need to target it properly though, because ATM and Chama can just soak in this damage and come back, sustain, and force a full-on team fight.
And on top of that, right, we're talking about not just the way that they're able to be efficient in the jungle, but the fact that they have more map presence because of the Uranus. Boots is going to be able to move around the map a lot quicker, put some pressure on those side lanes, and actually prevent a setup coming in from Burnex Flash. And you can see, ATM
getting targeted. Final slash has been used, but Keyboy's the one that's low. CW secures the kill. Tremont gets Keyboy down. Sans is down as well. Boots is taking full damage from Donut. He has to run away. Kyrie goes in, gets the shadow on one of the members of Burnex Flash. Seacat tries to get CW, but CW so far has been positioning well. Right now, the Lord has been started by Burnex Flash. Kyrie is looking at the team. Boots taking a lot of damage. He goes down. Mega kill for Chama and Seacat. CW killing spree. Kyrie wants the revenge, but look at Seacat. He's still alive. The members helping him out. Kyrie gets caught. Donut gets the kill. Burnex Flash secures the Lord.
No way did that just happen. What? All 5 members coming from Onyx, they go down. That was a brilliant team fight by Burnex
Listen to the crowd.
D7 was insane mechanically there as well. Really good cover onto Donut. And do we have to mention Seacat?
Burnex Flash and the Cambodian crowd are starting to erupt here in the Aeon Arena. And LaFell, back at it again. If we try to analyze what happened in that team fight, it was mostly just Onyx going in one by one, over-committing, not using their flickers. And even for Kyrie, the most uncharacteristic I've ever seen from Kyrie. miscalculating the shadow kill to a point where his quad shadow disappeared right after the shadow kill is done.
That's an instant 4,000
I haven't seen that ever
gold lead.
for this man.
That's why. Nerves getting to him. What's going on with Onyx once again? But you can see here, the Lord is going to be marching in that mid side. Luckily, Onyx does still have the high ground, still going to be able to clear. But Keyboy, do they want to go for it?
Keyboy, final slashes. The boost tries to pull everyone away. ATM front lining for Burnex Flash. He's able to run away. Keyboy, actually a pretty good engage, getting 2. But looks like the damage is still not enough for Onyx. Just now, the goal difference, not that different now. It's a 4K difference for Burnex Flash.
And it's reflected here in the itemization for the in-game equipment. You can already see Lancelot is going for that War Axe and Thunderbell, so a little bit more of an aggressive route here. And meanwhile, for Donut, this is exactly what you want to do up against an assassin as well. You finish up the corrosion side, go to the golden staff. Usually you would go for the DHS, but he opts to go for Wind of Nature.
I want to talk about Dreadnought as well. 2 Dreadnoughts, one on the Lancelot, one on the Fredrin, and a full-on anti-Cuirass on the Diggy. So we're talking about the itemization getting buffed. Looks like even Kyrie will get effective.
That's it. That's what I was worried about, right? Because we saw the differences in damage from just even the Dreadnought only, and if you have the anti-Cuirass on top of it, it feels like that damage could be negated, especially now that Onyx is under. They're not leading here, so they're not ahead at the moment, and you can actually see the disparity in damage, and Kyrie can't really pull off what he's usually accustomed to.
Onyx have been, honestly, it feels like they've been autopiloting. They've just been going for these 5v5s, and Burnex Flash are forcing it out of them. Meanwhile, Onyx, this composition should be built around split pushing. It should be built around the banana split that Coach Eb is notorious for.
Right now, looking at the situation, I kind of feel like Onyx, they're understanding that they're probably autopiloting as well, so they're trying to figure out, like, okay, what do we do here? They're
back on track.
They're buying their time. They're like, okay, let's farm up for a little bit. What items do you guys want? Once we get it, then we'll figure something out. Maybe fight the next Lord. But I kind of feel like the question is, how are they going to engage? Because so far, the engages is coming in from Keyboy, but he's not really getting those key targets. And as long as Burnex Flash is positioning well, it's not going to happen, man.
They're still opting to go for these big team fights, though. They're still trying to position in a way where they're grouped up. Boots hasn't really been able to be that threat in the side lane, but Keyboy goes in.
Yep, they want ATM first, but ATM as the Fredrin can take a lot of damage right now. Shima has a lot of stacks on his War Axe, and it looks like Sans has been faded out. ATM goes down. CW, what a beautiful snipe. But now, Onyx, they don't have that big ult. Burnex Flash, do you want to go back in and try to contest this Lord?
It looks like they're kind of, just levitating here, hovering. Oh, Sans.
Oh, Sans getting very, very low. D7 tries to catch him. But now Sans low, CW low. Kyrie is looking for a situation where he can't go in. Shima tries to fight against Kyrie. Kyrie is super low. Unstoppable! Uncontested right now. Shima secures the Lord. And now C-Cat is looking at Keyboy. Do they want to force this fight? Looks like Burnex Flash. They want to go for the safer route and actually reset and push with the Lord.
That was a risk that Onyx took that did not pay off for them in the end. Kima, did you see that decision making?
I would say it wasn't a risk that Onyx took. They were very well in the right zone to go for that Lord. They had a one-man advantage. It was a risk that Burnex Flash took. They turned the tides around so well, and you can see it again here. Firstly, it started with C-Cat with that beautiful real-world information that we're not going to get to see here, but that made the opening, that created the chance for Chama to actually dive in, because CW was nowhere to be seen. Sans was super low, and they are capitalizing.
Speaking of low, Boots is taking quite a lot of damage from Donut. CW almost gets taken out. Oh no, Chama gets him, and now removal is saved by C-Cat. Sans is zoned out. The Lord marches in. The top tower is in danger. Keyboy goes in, gets Constant, and looks like he's able to use the final slides, but he is all alone. Keyboy gets to get out. Only Sans, Boots, and Kyrie is alive. But look at Burnex Flash. They're looking at game number 1. They want to secure this. The Lord has been taken down. Shadow Kill not doing anything except clearing the minions. And now, with 1 minion left, Burnex Flash, you want to try to end this. Boots goes in. Shama is down. Shut down for Boots. Double kill. And now C-Cat gets Kyrie. The face we blow.
Oh my God!
Maniac for Boots. Maniac in the first game of MSC 2023.
Hey, this could be it. This could be it. They can go for one straight push. 20 seconds on the dead timers. That's the quickest one. That's ATM. Onyx are booking it.
Can they do it? Can they do it?
Dude, they
Oh,
can
wait,
do
they're
it.
going for it.
They have the minions. They have CW. I feel
10
like
seconds.
they can do it.
They can do it.
Boots is just tanking. The minions are
5
going in.
seconds.
The minions
No
are going
way.
in. ATM is up. No. The minions are here. The minions are here. I don't think they can end this.
Oh my God, what
What a
was
game.
that?
This is how you start MSC, and the
beautiful.
crowd are loving it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We'll take a look at the instant replay here in just a few seconds. But that was so close to the end for both of the teams. But we got to mention Boots here.
Boots, not only was he dealing damage, acting as a front line, but he was actually, his main objective for him was taking the minion aggro so that it does not come into range, while also simultaneously building those stacks on these opponents, getting so much damage, and Maniac on Uranus. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Dude, the Ionic Edge. But the thing is, I saw the interaction. We talked about this before the game starts. I saw Jonah using the Wind of Nature. What can that do against the Uranus? And this is one of the reasons why you want to pick up the Uranus, just because of the magic damage. Sure, you got Wind of Nature, that's a cool item and all, but I clearly don't care. Burning Splash starts the Lord. Kyrie starting super low. ATM following everyone. He's gonna go down. No, he does not. No, he does not. D7 saves the life of ATM.
Onyx were able to hold on, but with this Lord coming in, it should be an evolved one this time around. I don't know if they can.
I don't know either. I guess their only solution at this point is to try and go for a split maybe, but even that is difficult to attain. Taking a look at the in-game items here in the 18th minute of the game.
Interesting choice here for Kyrie as well. He's going for cooldown. And again, also the Rose Gold Meteor, so he's forced to kind of build a bit more defensively as well. But I honestly feel like the damage is just not visible. This high and dry is completely negated because Burnix Flash have been playing just fully front to back, all 5 together. Now, I feel like Onyx actually cleared the wave in a way where they actually are forcing Burnix Flash to split, and this is their chance, but they have to be careful.
Boots super low. He still has the immortality. It hasn't been off just yet. Real one manipulation turned on. Kyrie gets caught. He still survives. ATM couldn't do anything. Boots has his immortality pop. Keyboy, the front line goes in. He's gonna get taken down. No, he's still alive. CW is standing base there. Double kill for Kyrie. Kyrie wants to go for more. Okay, shadow kill enough to get 2, just 3. Kyrie right now, Donut is low. Boots, does he want to get a triple kill here? He sees C-Cat. C-Cat, where are you going? Unstoppable for Boots. Boots is saving Onyx right now. Chuma running for his life.
Donut.
No one sees Donut. Onyx, they're out of their base. No one's protecting it. Donut goes in. Donut, do you have your Wind of Nature? Do you have your Wind of Nature? Do you have your Wind of Nature? Donut 1v1. Keyboy is there. They can't do anything.
They end the game.
Oh my God.
Game goes to Onyx.
The yellow porcupine strike first in an intense battle against the Cambodian representative. What game was that? That was insane.
That was Mobile Legends.
Amazing.
And oh my goodness.
What an opening match.
That's how you
love
open.
it.
We mentioned earlier that, there's no way we can open any other match. This is the match to go for, and man, did it deliver. Onyx were brought to their knees before they climbed back up against Burn X Flash, and it was one call, one mistake from Burn X Flash that ultimately led to their demise. Onyx were able to completely just take control of the game even, and remember, they didn't get the Lord right after that team fight. They went straight for the base. The Lord was actually secured again by Burn X Flash, but they weren't able to utilize it properly because that wave management, that little thing that built up to a massive W for Onyx in the bottom lane. They cleared it out first, therefore kind of just calling it off. The base, that push.
I gotta say, man, I kind of feel like I understand how it feels to be an Onyx fan right now, how it feels to be the Burn X Flash fan right now, because that's just the first game, and I'm sweating. I kind of feel like the fans will be sweating as well.
I think
that's an opener match, but that feels like a grand finals.
Dude, if the grand finals starts like that, we're getting a 4-3.
Oh
That was so good. I cannot even wrap my head around how good that was.
I can. I just love it.
Oh,
I
man.
love this kind of situation. People are like, obviously Onyx gonna win. Sure, they won first game, but did you really think they would win like that?
That was so close.
That was way too
And
close.
I gotta say, right, I've casted a lot of Onyx games, and I haven't seen Onyx being tested to that level of a limit.
In season 11, nobody
could touch Onyx.
They were always like full turrets. They were always dominating with a 10,000 gold lead. And to see Onyx struggle the way they did earlier, it shows you that it's not just Onyx choking. Okay, a lot of people will definitely say that. You know, a lot of haters. But Burnix Flash has significantly improved from the last time we saw them. Not just Burnix Flash, but Cambodia. With the hometown advantage, the home ground advantage, you heard them. And the players certainly did too.
Dude, just now, I would even say that's just like a coin flip. It could have gone.
It could have gone either way.
either
Burn
way.
played better for that game.
If they did not catch Donut trying to split there, game over.
Yeah, that was
Game
it.
over.
That would have been it.
If they just got the minions in, if Boots was shoved back, they would have won. There was so many would have in that game. And again, Burn were the better team that game.
This is why I love MSC, man.
Man, that was just the first game.
There's
of
no
the full best of
absolutes.
3.
There's no absolutes. The fans are saying hi to camera. You guys can say hi to camera. It's all good. We love you guys. Mwah. But I love that game. That game was amazing. After this, we're gonna analyze the game.
Yes.
Honestly, the items, I kind of feel like for Chima on the land slot, having that Thunderbelt as well as the War Axe really made a huge difference going up against Kyrie's Hayabusa, especially the fights a lot, around the Lords, because we can see how much punctures did he use. So the stack not only on his passive, but also on the War Axe, it's insane, man. That land slot deal a lot of damage. Hi, guys, you can say hi to the camera, yeah.
Well, you know, let's talk about the MVP first, because I think, sure, you're going to be saying Burn were better, Onyx were better, but who was the star of the show? It was Boots. Maniac on the Uranus, a debut Uranus as well. We're going to take a look at the highlights to see exactly what happened in that game, starting from the 6th minute of the game, because this was actually where Onyx held that power spike. This should have been Onyx team fight to win. Well, it ended up being Onyx team fight to lose because of the miscoordination that was happening. Again, I would say at this point, it's kind of like signature game 1 Onyx in an international stage. They always just have the jitters for some weird reason, and Burnix Flash were able to completely capitalize on that, even in fights where it should have been guaranteed for Onyx to pick up the Lord earlier.
Dude, this
Like Sans
this could have been, look at how low.
Boots, yeah.
Look at how low that base is, man.
You can see Boots, he did this before on the Bauman, I believe, up against EVOS Legends, but here in this matchup, he really did save the game. Not only dealing damage like you mentioned, but the main objective for Boots was just keeping the minions at bay. And this final push, good read by Kyrie, good call by the entire team, not to just send Kyrie back, because they know they have the win of nature. You've been yelling at it, you've been yelling like, oh, you have win of nature, you have win of nature. Donut heard you. And
Dude.
apparently Kyrie did too.
I gotta say, man, starting the day off with a base race. A base race from south to north, west to east. Looking at the itemization right now, again, I want to talk about Chima because it's a more aggressive kind of build, and I kind of feel like he is okay for this more aggressive build just because ATM was winning his lane, he can help out a lot, and he was able to get a lot of stacks onto that on his own passive.
I think the lack of magic defense respect was present for Burnix Flash. They were completely, I think, tunnel visioning mostly on CW and Kyrie, because sure, you can take a look at CW and Kyrie getting a lot of these eliminations, but I think Sans actually did the most damage. 1-1 and 12. He was completely solid this game. I thought he was picked off a lot, but apparently not. I guess he was able to maneuver a lot of these times, and if you see his itemization as well, it's just mostly pure damage, utility, and a Winter Truncheon. One defensive item there, and the Impure Rage definitely helped Sans here, because he's the sole damage dealer as a magic, if we don't count Uranus, in the mid game, and he kind of did his job.
Yeah, let's see from here, right? Teamfight participation. Okay, we don't exactly see Sans's damage output.
It's
it's there.
Wingman, he's the wingman. Sans the wingman there, but CCAT is the ace. He did the most damage. You can see that even from damage to turret, it was Burnix Flash. They did have the better control in the game. But Onyx, wow. Just the way they were able to control the game through, what?
Dude,
I don't know how they controlled the game, because team fights were going Burn. Everything, mostly, was going Burn. they got one good team fight. They need to fix these issues.
Dude, like this is one of those things about Mobile Legends, man, because what I want to talk about as well is throughout the entire game, we say that it's Burn X Flash's game, but if you look at the goal difference, you don't really think that it's Burn X Flash's game, because even though they've been winning a lot of fights, but in terms of their farm, it's not until the Lord fight, I believe it was the second Lord fight, that there's a sizable gap between both teams. So I kind of feel like at this point, even though if you look at the game, it's actually Onyx still in control, even though they're losing. I just feel like after the second Lord, then they start sweating for real.
No, but we've been discussing a lot about like just everything on the board, right? But what I really wanted to highlight was the fact that even though Onyx was always losing those team fights, they don't stray away from their main goal, right? They still stick on objectives. You can see that Kyrie is still looking out for turrets as well. So they were, even though that they were really behind in those team fights, they were still able to level out that gold in the very end, which at the end, that gave them everything.
Yeah, so basically you can see the Onyx spark. The Onyx that we had in MPL Indonesia, it was visible there. Not entirely, they weren't fully there, but there were glimpses of the MPL ID Onyx, because it seems like even when they were making these mistakes, like you mentioned, they were able to recover very well.
Yeah.
Losing turtle fights, getting picked off up top, bottom as well. But the pathing, the efficiency in farming as well from CW and Sans carried them through those low moments. But like you said, okay, sure, they can be consistent, they can recover, but if they continuously keep on losing these team fights, ultimately, Burn X Flash were able to fully capitalize, getting, I believe, a 6,000 gold lead at one point.
That's why you guys mentioned that Onyx had a really good draft, right?
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, that it's good. Maybe
it's good
based on your calculations, but it's not Onyx. It's not Onyx. It's not
I think
Onyx.
it's just not Onyx who played. It was a weird Onyx.
Either way, the only thing I can say is, it's when two teams are trying to build a dynasty, this is what happens.
Just
a lot of clashes.
Just chaos. We're gonna take to Harada Mickey for an interview, I think.
Welcome back, everyone. My name is Harada Miki, and now I will interview with Para Team. Hi, ជំរាបសួរ
ជំរាបសួរបង
ចាសូមណែនាំខ្លួនម្នាក់ម្ដង
ខ្ញុំមកឈ្មោះវិចិត្រសុខជា
វិចិត្រសុខជា Golan okay
ខ្ញុំបាទឈ្មោះជុំពេរៈដៃឆាងកូឡឺ
Okay, so his name is Vijay Sokchia, playing Golan, and your name is Piria, right? Playing jungler. Okay, so អបអរសាទរទៅកាន់ការប្រកួតការពី SEA Games ទទួលបានលេខ3 Okay អញ្ចឹងអាចមានសំណួរខ្លះសួរបានអត់
សួរបានបង
Okay អញ្ចឹងមានអារម្មណ៍មិនដែរជាមួយនឹងការលេងតំណាងប្រទេសស្រុកខ្មែរហើយលេងលើកទី1ហើយពេលរយៈពេលដែលខ្លីទៀតប៉ុន្តែទទួលបានលទ្ធផលល្អដូចគ្នាមានអារម្មណ៍មិនដែរ
បាទចិត្តបងប្អូនខ្ញុំមកដែរបានឡើងប្រកួតហើយជាការប្រកួតលើកដំបូងរបស់ខ្ញុំហើយបានមានដៃសម្រិតទៀតខ្ញុំបានលេខ3អត់បានលេខ1មែនក៏ខ្ញុំនៅសប្បាយចិត្តដែរបង
Okay ចុះសម្រាប់ភិរៈ
សម្រាប់ខ្ញុំសប្បាយចិត្តបងពេលដែលខ្ញុំបានលេខតំណាងជាតិហើយយើងបានលេខ3បងអញ្ចឹងយើងក៏បានសប្បាយចិត្តដែរពេលដែលយើងបានលេខ3
Okay, so I asked him how do you feel to be able to represent your country, and he said he's feel like really happy. It's the first time, but he still got the third place. It's still good, right? Okay អញ្ចឹងឥឡូវខ្ញុំសុំសួរមួយសម្រាប់ការប្រកួត MSC គឺមាន idol របស់ពួកគាត់ច្រើនអញ្ចឹងសុំសួរចង់ដឹងថា idol របស់ពួកគាត់ Who is your MLBB idol?
idol របស់ខ្ញុំបង
Yes.
idol របស់ខ្ញុំបង ATM
ATM Experience Land of Burning Flash, right? Okay ចុះសម្រាប់ភិរៈ
ខ្ញុំ idol របស់ខ្ញុំគឺ Secret ហើយនឹង Onyx គឺ Kyrie បង
Kyrie អូ fan Kyrie ទៀតឆ្លាញ់គាត់លេងត្រង់ណា
ស្រឡាញ់គាត់ត្រង់លេងឆាងកូឡឺគាត់លេងដៃលឿនមែនតើអាសាស៊ីនគឺគាត់លេងបានច្រើនខ្ញុំចូលចិត្តគាត់មើលវីដេអូគាត់លេង
Wow. So Vijay, your idol is wait ATM, right? Experience Land of Burning Flash, and Piria, your idol is Secret Midland of Burning Flash and Kyrie from Onyx team, right? Okay. So are you excited to be able to catch the MSC 2023 anywhere to Burning Flash? មានពាក្យអីចង់ជូនពរទៅកាន់ Burning Flash ជាមួយនឹងការប្រកួត MSC 2023អត់
មានបងខ្ញុំជួបពួកគាត់លេងឲ្យត្រូវគ្នាហើយពួកគាត់ឈ្នះបាន2ហ្គេមជាប់គ្នាវិញ
បាន2ហ្គេមជាប់គ្នាវិញណា Okay ចុះសម្រាប់ភិរៈ
សម្រាប់ខ្ញុំគឺជូនពរគាត់ទោះបីគាត់ចាញ់មួយហ្គេមហ្នឹងតែហ្គេមក្រោយសង្ឃឹមថាគាត់លេងបានល្អជាងហ្គេមហ្នឹងទៀតបងកុំឲ្យ fair ដូចហ្គេមវិញ
Okay, so both of them wish to Burning Flash will get the next game that will get to be a winner of the Onyx team. So មានអីចង់និយាយទៅកាន់ idol Mấy vậy thì âm thử ấy, chẳng vậy ai âm hết.
អត់ទេបងអត់ទៅមាន
Come on, bạn lên mọi mình nhảy chân. Okay, so wish Bonnie Flash have a good communicate. Thank you.
រៀបរៀប
Thank you, Akon.
គុណបង
Okay. ចឹងឥឡូវសូមចង់ឃើញលេង Fanny បានអត់
បានតើ
អាចជួយជួយខ្ញុំ
តែលេងដៃមួយចឹងសូមសួរថាពិបាកអត់ So you play only the left hand, right? ត្រូវទេ Yes, okay. Xong tâm lên hô môi mau. Wow, nên là khi mang khơi cho mùi nâng đây chăng rồi lơ. Chà, lên cho mùi nâng Fanny tại đây mình thấy nhóm đáy phí ở đây nhóm liệt cả đấy. Okay, so now it's time to pass back to our caster. So, guys, let's go to our caster.
Thank you, Harada Miki, for that interview. And what did you say before?
Honestly, he has more talent in one pinky finger than I have in both hands.
In my
What? Dude, did you look at that?
You know, I actually
amazing.
casted Fiarak versus Kyrie 1v1 Fanny, and Kyrie was 2 levels behind of him.
Kyrie was
And-
sweating.
Yeah, Kyrie was actually sweating, and Fiarak had a 2-level lead at
And
one
he did
point.
that with one hand.
Yeah. I think even Kyrie said that the only reason Fiarak lost was because of his choice in emblem. He went for the Festival of Blood, and Kyrie went high and dry, therefore having a little bit more burst to play with.
Dude, that's insane, man. Because again, looking at that, it's like, oh, the guy plays with one hand. You would imagine it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's just a normal kind of thing. But then when you see, it's like, yo, with both hands, I can't do that. I can't do that, legit.
And you think maybe he's just Fanny player. He can play Fanny, no.
He can play
He
Lancelot.
almost beat the GOAT, bro. I'm not joking. You guys can watch it all over in social media. He 1v1 Carltesi on Lancelot.
And then?
And
One
Carltesi
basic
won
attack.
by 1 basic attack.
One basic attack.
It was RNG at that point.
RNG.
Oh my god.
Extra
Not-
damage, crit, I don't know, but just one basic attack.
That's insane. That's
You're
insane.
insane.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know what was
Okay.
insane?
What's insane?
Game number 1.
Game number
What was
one.
that? Honestly, it's insane.
Champions against champions, man.
Yeah.
Both teams are going for a dynasty, creating a dynasty. There's going to be a lot of bodies on the floor. And man, that was a fully action-packed game with a lot of kills, a lot of team fights going on. But mainly, what actually gave Onyx the victory was their consistency and their macro play, right? Even though they looked shaky, every single time they lose on a big team fight, they were able to recover really well. And I think even though, this is going to sound weird, it was chaotic. It was definitely not the Onyx we saw in MPLID, but it's a better Onyx than we've seen in MSC 2022.
better?
It's a better Onyx
How
than
so?
we've seen at M4.
I get it.
Because it's
I
no
understand.
longer all Kyrie. It's no longer Kyrie esports. If Kyrie doesn't perform at M4, it's done.
It's done. It's
Here,
over.
Kyrie was struggling. Boots and CW, Sans, Keyboy,
They stepped up.
they were able to recover, and then Kyrie pops off again.
For sure, for sure. And I think that's definitely the journey that we want to see from Onyx in particular, because usually we're accustomed to seeing the performance of Onyx. Like, let's say that they don't get that snowballing that they're used to in that early game, right? You can see that somehow they play differently. They play a little bit off. It feels like they don't have the same spirit and the motivation to, come back into the game. But like you mentioned, what we saw there was more of a presence coming in from Onyx, right? They were able to stay consistent, stay level-headed as well. They didn't tilt, which was very important. And at the end, they were able to get the game from under Burnex Flash's nose.
I just saw just now, we got a little bit of information that the previous MSC, Onyx actually dropped game number 1. In this series, sure, it was tough, but at least they won. So technically,
They haven't won yet. They haven't won yet, remember.
Okay, dude.
They won a
it's-
game.
It's a game. It's a good stepping stone, all right? It's a good, I would say...
They're comfortable.
What's this? You're looking at my hand. The camera can't see. What is this?
Panning?
No.
Shooing away?
No.
Progression?
It's movement. It's something about movement.
It's good flow.
Momentum.
Good momentum.
They got the
Momentum.
momentum. They start with a good momentum.
Good
Although to be
momentum.
fair, British Splash, I kind of feel like they're probably a little bit more spirited now. Because even though they did lose, that was a very good game for them.
Yeah. They noticed that
They
Onyx
also
can
got the
really-
momentum.
Definitely. I mean, they have a morale boost as well. Not just that, right? The crowd helped them for sure. That morale, imagine, you
The
make
crowd
a
helped
good
us.
play, the crowd helped us too, yeah, for sure. And it certainly did help Burnex Flash.
Burning Splash, they're so good. I just...
America's so good.
Hey, you said I'm okay.
No, you're good, LaFell.
Now, look at this. Onyx lost their first game last year in MSC 2022.
And M4.
I guess Soda.
It almost continued now until Boots saved the day. Game number 1, but again, like, Boots.
Yeah,
The very first game got a Maniac. Almost a Savage, but CW took it.
Boots is always the nice guy. Boots is
always
the
the nice
guy
guy.
who just tells the team, yo, be careful, okay? Be careful. There's a lingering threat looking at us.
Just now, in the lift, going to breakfast, he's like, yo, LaFell, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm okay. Okay. And then when I stepped out, I was like, hey, be careful, all right? I'm like, hey, thanks, man.
Boots is a careful man. And
He's a careful EXP leader.
He was so caring of the minion waves and everything. He's just, in Indo we call this paka. He's very aware.
He hugged Burnex Flash so tightly that he killed 4 of them.
Oh, yeah, technically you're right. He did get a maniac through just, well, he didn't hug him. He just span around on the Uranus.
He
Spin?
he spun them to death.
Let's not get to the logistics of the game, right?
Yeah.
Karina does magic damage. She's holding a sword.
I mean, like,
Definitely.
Uranus is basically a planet. I guess if you're gonna go down, you might as well go down to a planet.
Anyway, coming back into that first game, right? I think there was a lot of highlight on Chima, but man, CCat, his performance was exceptional as well on the Valentina. And I gotta say, coming to the second game, I want to see Valentina on the opposite team.
Actually, talking about this again, I don't think we can criticize the drafts really, because if you can say
Both
like,
drafts were good.
yeah, it's like, what if we change this? What if we change that? I don't think that's part of the conversation, honestly, for both teams, even for Onyx.
Yeah, I think for Onyx, there were a lot of mechanics happening, and for Burning Splash, that's exactly what happened as well. The reason they lost, I would say, okay, Onyx did well, but mostly it was Burning Splash just making the wrong call. That call to end the game without the mini waves crashing in onto the base was a very risky call. It was a very risky play that they decided to take.
Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the moment that we've been waiting for, right? Because this is match point. If Onyx are able to get 1 more point away from Burnex Flash, that's them winning the entirety of the series. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the draft of game number 2.
Looking at the movement just now as well, I just love Atlas strutting the MSC skin in the middle just now. Onyx as the first pick, they banned out the Lancelot, man. You gotta respect this. Burnex Flash still banning out the Fanny, and Onyx banning out the Blue still. Burnex Flash banning out the 1-1. I just love this Lancelot ban because back in Malaysia, even Milo said that the Lancelot is actually surprisingly very, very strong after the changes of the jungle. There might be cases where it's get banned out, and we see it here in game number 1. Even Onyx is banning out the Lancelot.
Hey, look, they also banned the Diggy out, right? They finally understand it. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? Our competition,
Even Keyboy's face is like, yeah, you know what?
we need to get out.
I'm okay with banning out the Dig.
Oh man, but the Atlas. I'm worried about the Atlas here. Last time Novaria was the last ban. That should actually force them to do that. But if that's the case, then Onyx, they're going to be able to pick that Atlas first pick if they want to.
They want to let the Kadita go, though? The Kaja go as well?
I think Keyboy has so much that he can use that he could probably see the entire lineup first and then be like, you know what? Never mind. I have a hero that even you guys haven't thought about. I'm not gonna say it. I haven't thought about it yet.
Not a roll.
Yeah.
Something like that. Keyboy is he's transitioned. He's not a Keyboy anymore. He's a key man. Burnex Flash, the final ban. It's going to be the Kaja. So letting the Atlas go, I will not stop it.
Novaria.
And Novaria, that's going to be first
For
pick.
sure.
Like we mentioned, man, in the patch notes segment earlier, Novaria has shifted the prio levels in the game. And when it's open, better first pick it. It's just, it's built in map hacks, LaFell. I don't know how it can get better than that.
Oh, but we
Kyrie.
do have a quote here from Kyrie. I think even from Onyx Philippines, Coach Yeb is the best coach he has had since, until Onyx ID, and he doesn't think that it would have changed. He's still doing a lot of good things, and he's very impactful for the team.
Kyrie's saying good
We
things.
can feel that, though.
Back to back,
Yeah.
3 grand finals, yeah.
But it's not just the knowledge that Coach Yeb brings to the table, right? It's the fact that he's able to give the team just
Morale.
balance, right? Morale.
And he's honestly a positive guy. He has a second name.
Huh?
Coach Yep is the first one. Coach Yes is the second one. He brings positivity to the team. He brings comfort. Everyone feels relaxed, but at the same time, super motivated. Looking back into the draft here, Burning Splash picking up the Eve as well as the Fredrin. Novaria, we really do have to see the impact here because based on our own personal testings, number 1, damage, amazing. Honestly, very, very great. amazing range as well. But again, all providing so much utility,
Graphics.
not only just giving vision, but actually making it so much easier to hit your skill shots. If you're already hitting a lot of your Beatrix, you're gonna hit a lot more after this.
And on top of that, it also cancels recall, so
Yeah.
it really good
That's
for buying
annoying.
time as well.
And you know, the thing is, you don't even need your ult to open up. You can use your first skill. There's
And your second skill.
so many enablers here. A lot of heroes can be enabled by the Navaria, and with that, they actually go for the Claw and Yu Zhong. So we were talking about Beatrix and a lot of the skill shot heroes that definitely will benefit from that, but this is a scary pick. This is the pick that we spoke about earlier. Donut has an 80% win rate.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, good and bad. The Claude is good going up against the Eve. Amazing.
Yes.
Leslie is good going up against the Claude.
Yes.
But this is a 5v5, not a 1v1. Because looking at the situation right now, the Yu Zhong,
Yes.
if the Yu Zhong can get on top of that Leslie and actually forcing the Leslie to hit the dragon, the black dragon form coming in from the Yu Zhong, there's a lot of interactions here happening. So Donut picking up the Leslie is actually very brave. We got to see if it really works out in this game.
Yeah, I think they need a little bit more frontline, honestly, here. And Onyx, with that in mind, right, they're going to go straight for the Uranus ban.
Here's
It
the
shows how much they know about the Uranus, right? It worked for them. Maybe no other team has picked it up,
dude,
but
the damage buff, it means a lot.
exactly. And with that, they will respect the hero that they were able to utilize to win game number one. And like you mentioned, LaFell, this Leslie is going to be in a bit of trouble, and that's why Burnix Flash are doubling down on the fact that, you know, no assassins for Kyrie. You know, get him off of the assassins, this time especially. With the Leslie, you're not as, you know, sustainable. You can't really survive a lot of these dive. So Haya and maybe they want to take the Ling out here.
I honestly feel like it's not a bad pick to ban out, honestly. Like, even if you lose the fight, there is an option for you to...
Not about the Kadita, yeah. Kadita Yu Zhong was what destroyed the Leslie at
Oh,
ISF.
yes. That's very true. Now,
So still give you the respect.
Yeah, definitely. And now we're going to see what Onyx goes for here, right? They've already limited Uranus here from the front line, trying to eliminate any presence that perhaps could give Onyx a bit of a hard time, especially in that front line. Are they going to go for that again, or do they want to go for something else here, right? It seems like they haven't picked up a roam, or maybe an Atlas ban could come through from Onyx. But the same thing can be said for Burnix Flash, honestly.
You know, I'm thinking of like, okay, definitely didn't think about a Franco ban coming in here for the side.
It's actually good.
It's actually good.
Yu Zhong doesn't like Franco.
Definitely.
Claude doesn't like Franco.
Bloody Hunt. Always.
I don't like Franco.
Why? I thought you were a roamer.
Yeah, and I always get picked off by the Franco. Stop it. It's annoying.
Personal experience. I agree. Especially when it's on the hands of someone like D7 who can actually use it,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
But Burnix Flash, remember, with the Diggy band, they can still go for something like an Atlas here, but it is a bit too risky knowing that Claude can go for Purify. Novaria can also join in with that Purify. He doesn't even need Purify. He plays all the way to the back. You want to go for the Joy. A Joy that can dive, and in this particular situation, it's still flex. It's still great for Burnix Flash.
The Joy can go jungle.
And the Joy can go XP.
But Joy's early game has been weakened a lot.
Joy?
So,
The Joy?
some people might not matter.
Some people might not matter.
Some people might not care. That's the correct word. Some people might not care. I heard the What's the about?
The Joy sets up perfectly for what Onyx might be planning.
And what are they planning?
You know, Navaria's cool and all, but it's just not, it doesn't scream Keyboy. You know what does?
What does Scream Keep?
Kufra.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the Kufra is good against the Leslie as well.
Yeah, exactly. Some more dive into the back. They can go for an assassin as well with some... But that's the thing. They can't go for assassins, I feel like, if they go for the Kufra, because that mid control is definitely going...
Oh!
There you go. It's a Cho. Okay, even more Keyboy.
Balvin, man.
I said Kufra? No, Cho.
Dude, now, honestly,
The buffs.
Onyx can go for a snowball because the buffs on the Balvin
Is insane.
is insane.
It's
Here's the thing.
broken.
If you build damage, that's amazing. Now,
Here it is.
Look at the changes. Lethal counter before this is just 400 plus 60% total physical attack, 20 to 30% of the enemy's lost HP. Now, sure, the total physical attack has been dropped to 150 plus 70%. But the lost HP, it will plus from 30%. If you are level 12, it will go up to 45% of the enemy's lost HP. So for now, you build full tank, you will do so well, especially looking at how squishy Burnix Flash composition is.
I want to see the last pick coming from Burnix Flash, and it's going to be the Kufra.
Okay. So
Now that you see it, what do you feel? Because you wanted to see it, now you see it.
I see it.
All right.
What do you think about the Kufra?
I don't think it's a bad choice, honestly. I mean, they needed more CC in their composition, and that's definitely the CC that you can utilize, but I'm not really sure if the Kufra is going to be reliable to pick things off for the composition that Onyx has brought.
Yeah, very mobile, a lot of range. They can keep on, you know,
Like
they have the
Novaria.
claw. Novaria is going to be playing all the way back, but looking at the composition, there's no other hero they can really go for who can catch the Novaria as good as Kufra, right? Maybe the Cho with the flicker, but Kufra has a very good gap closer, and that's maybe what they're looking for here. I want to say that Onyx have just learned from their mistakes. Guess what? When they picked Leslie at M4, guess who bonked them in their face?
Who bunked them on the face?
Yaoi on the Cho.
Yaoi on the Cho? Yaoi on the Cho?
Into a Leslie.
Oh, dude, but now listening to the crowd cheering and roaring. Game number 2, we already see the flashes, and looks like we're going to game number 2 of MSC 2023. Onyx going up against Burnex Flash. This is possibly the last game for Onyx, but if Burnex Flash wants to continue, they gotta win this one.
They definitely do. And taking a look at these lanes, right? I mean, I understand, right? Leslie does good against the Claude based on range, but early game Leslie, I think he needs a little bit more time to level things up, have the damage that she's meant to have.
Yeah, against everyone else, sure. Against Claude, nah. Claude just doesn't do anything in lane against the Leslie. You can expect the Cho, Keyboy, to always be top lane if they want CW to be, you know, a factor in the game.
That's honestly the real reason why Leslie is so good going up against the Claude, because the playstyle of a Claude is you want to battle mirror image in, blazing duet, and usually you'll be using a Wind of Nature. Going up against a Leslie that does true damage, the Wind of Nature is a non-factor.
Also, the cancel from that second skill, Donut can cancel the Blazing Duet. That is a big, big mechanic that Burnex Flash will try to utilize in these skirmishes. And again, you can already see it as well, the range. That's, I think, the #1 thing for Burnex Flash. And if you take a look at the emblems once again, you can see that it's actually just pretty normal.
Yeah, everything's pretty normal, and we were talking about normally it's a 1v1 lane. Even Donut's like, yeah, I can 1v1 CW. They're not letting it happen. Both teams are going for a 2v2 lane up here in the gold, and it's all about the mid laners jumping on, but D7 catches Sans, but Sans is still able to get away because not enough damage yet to take him down.
Yeah, this is really different to what we saw in game number 1, right? A lot more emphasis on the gold lane for sure. And the fact that Sans can actually mobilize around the map a lot quicker than CCAT actually might be the answer or a little bit of an edge that Onyx does have here from the mid lane. Because with the mid lane control, they're going to be able to rotate a lot faster. But now, emphasis onto the next neutral objective. Once again, Burnex Flash going to be the first one there. Doesn't look like Onyx wants to contest.
Yeah, mid control held down by Burnex Flash. The fact that they also were able to translate that over to XP is good. Keyboy jumps in though.
Yeah, right now looking at Kyrie dropping really low, has to use the little counter, so now he really can't contest for the turtle. Boots finds ATM, even though he has the vengeance, able to run away. D7
gold lane,
unable to catch Keyboy, but looking at the gold lane, looks like Donut is being harassed by Sans. First blood goes over to Onyx.
I mean, we talked about it right before, right? Novaria has the range, has the damage, and has the mobility, right? So she's quite broken. Honestly, we do understand why she was banned out in that first game. And here in the second game, man, Donut's not going to have a really good time if Sans is able to roam around like that.
And it's still a different Onyx. Game number 1, Onyx played towards CW. Game number 2, Onyx are playing towards CW. What that shows is CW is feeling it, unlike M4, right? So he can actually carry the game. And this time on the Claude, he's actually performing really well against his counter. If Leslie falls off, if he's not able to survive in the laning phase, it's done. And they're doing it as well onto Chaman.
Chaman gets kicked. Sans as well as Kyrie is there. Sans secures the last hit, and now Keyboy's feeling himself. Is like, yeah, I got the Joe, I got a playmaker. Donut and D7 are there. It looks like they want to deal a little bit of damage onto Keyboy.
Donut
there. Donut has to flicker away. That's a big battle spell used.
For sure, for sure. But even then, oh, wait a minute. Kyrie, he's going to get taken low just a little bit, though.
Yeah, looks like he's willing to sacrifice a little bit of HP to make sure that he secures that. Keyboy able to run away. Kyrie very, very low. But again, the backup from Onyx is very, very fast. And it's a good start because 1.4 thousand goal lead for Onyx.
That was such a good dodge, right, by Keyboy earlier. But what I really wanted to highlight right now, right, 4 minutes in the game, we are going to see the in-game equipments in just a bit, but please highlight that Kyrie here on the Balmain, like we mentioned, is one level ahead of Chama.
Also, just going for the Molten Essence, like we mentioned, there's no damage necessary for this Balmain. You can go just full utility. And on the other side, you can actually see, because they have such a good utility jungler at their disposal, they can actually just give Boots the option to go for full damage. He actually already has the hammer. He's building most probably towards, I don't know, maybe even in this position, Heptases. He might just want to be the assassin that dives on Donut.
Right now, Onyx starts the turtle. D7 tries to find an angle, unable. He guts Kyrie. Chama secures the turtle.
Wait.
Kyrie goes down. T-Cat secures that kill for himself. But Boots on the back line. Make sure he gets T-Cat to make sure that that's a good trade. But Chama gets Keyboy. A lot of fights going for the back and forth. Simply is still clearing the lane. Boots, you're trying to run away. You're not running away from Chama. Double kill for the jungler for Vernex Flash.
Wow, okay, now that's not good for Onyx, right? Because what initially was, 1,000, 2,000 gold lead has shrunk to only 400. And man, I feel like Chama is just, what do you call it when he's like, the anchor? Do you call it an anchor or like the wild card? He's the wild card, honestly. When he performs, it's so difficult for Onyx to look for anything on the board. And look at that, the entire situation just gets flipped to the opposite end.
I gotta say, honestly, for that scrimmage just now, a lot of props has to be given to D7 because he stopped Kyrie, and once he's stunned up, he can't use his retribution. So the retribution fight was very early, very easy for Chama. D7 taking a bit of poke damage, but Donut took more damage than D7. An accurate shot coming in from Sans.
And I think it was just a bit too greedy from Onyx, right? The reason they were able to win and get a lead early on was the fact that they were able to play around CW. Because Vernex Flash, their composition heavily emphasizes that turtle control. With the Yi, better mid control, and with obviously the Fredrin, they could just give the chance over. Hey, Keyboy.
Looks like the kick doesn't actually connect to the right spot. Keyboy has to run away, but D7 is gonna get punished quite a lot, but the flicker saves him. And now D7 looks like does he really want to go back in? Kyrie is blocking for Keyboy. Keyboy actually canceled his recall, but so far, as long as no one gets sacrificed for the side of Onyx, all is good.
Oh, look at CW getting in that item as well. That's a little power spike for him. Should be able to work around it. And like you mentioned, a different gameplay for Onyx. And I agree with you, right? Because when Onyx were leading, they did not contest for the turtle. Instead, they went in for a gank onto Donut. There, they forced it out. They lose, but there's a mid power spike coming in, especially for Kyrie here. We'll see what happens.
D7 jumps in, but doesn't get Kyrie. Kyrie secures the turtle. Look at that. D7 is going to go down. Boots secures it. ATM got kicked in the wrong place, but Chama still in the middle. Double kill for Boots. Boots again taking the team on his back. CW tries to chase after ATM, but ATM almost gets sniped down by Sans.
Again, Onyx playing it just clinically in that position. Sans trying to look for him. Doesn't find him, goes for a shot anyways, and does not get anyone. But I would actually say in that team fight, Keyboy, he wasn't kicking to the wrong direction. He was actually utilizing that kick to zone ATM away as he has that vengeance, giving his team a bit more space to play with. And here, also, Eterna, you mentioned that DHS and Golden Staff. Now, this is a plus and a minus. If you go for the Leslie, yes, you know, the Claude will not have to go for Win of Nature. Doesn't even need to go for Steel Leg Plates. But that does give him a bit more space to go for full damage. And then the rest of your team might suffer if you lose lane. That's why Vernex Flash really had to bank on Donut bullying CW.
Keyboy gets a beautiful kick onto D7. D7 goes down. CW with the Blazing Wet goes after Donut. Donut is about to go down, but he has to go back. What a dangerous situation for CW. Opting to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake. And Sans didn't hit the snipe onto Donut. Keyboy still wants it. No, he just wants to make sure that he doesn't recall early.
Oh, he's being so aggressive. He's being Keyboy.
They're stopping his recalls.
He's being Keyboy, stopping recalls like you mentioned before. But like we mentioned, right, there is a mid-game power spike happening for Onyx. So even earlier on, if BXF put Onyx in a tough position, Onyx has that mid-game to count on, right? They have Kyrie on the Balmain. They also have CW that needs a little bit more time to get those items. But once they do, that's how much pressure that they have in the, you know, just team fights in general.
This is Novaria's debut game in MSC, in fact, in the entire Mobile Legends ecosystem. And now we can definitely see that it's very impactful here. 3,000 gold lead for Onyx. Now that the Lord has spawned, we can definitely see it is a big priority for them to start things up. D7 charges in, but doesn't catch his Keyboy. CW, super low, gets taken down by Donut. That's a good start for Vernex Flash. ATM goes in. Kyrie gets pushed back to the fight by D7, and D7 secures the kill for himself.
CW, again, the battle mirror image, I think was just misplaced there. He panicked a bit, and this is Burnix Flash with the capitalization. Similarly to game number 1, BXF will be able to contest for the First Lord. They have the utility for this red tree.
Oh my
Who's
God.
stepping in?
Yeah, right now, Black Dragon form. They find Donut, but Donut gets back inside turret range. Boots still secures the kill. ATM is super low. He has to go back. D7 front lining for CCAT.
Oh.
And look at his signs from side, unable to get D7. Now Chama has to run away as well. That's a good fight by Onyx, but still the Lord goes to the hand of Burnix Flash.
I mean, they were grasping for anything they could grasp on, right? Clearly, they weren't able to get control over the Lord, so the next best thing is they can do is try and prevent for BXF to have the most optimal push, which is how? Take away Donut, and that's exactly what they were able to achieve. However, if one of them were taken out, that could have ended a lot differently. Very risky play.
Thing is, Burnix Flash, the Lord isn't what it looks like. They're not using the Lord in the conventional way. They're not just using the Lord to siege down turrets. It's a bonus. What the Lord is used for here for Burnix Flash is to give Donut more space. They need time, and they're doing it right now.
And D7 gets caught and gets killed by Kyrie right now. It looks like what is really stopping Onyx from moving forward is D7. And Keyboy is just like, yeah, let me get him and you guys finish him off.
D7 is role-playing as Boots in the first game.
Be careful.
Be careful.
Be careful.
You gotta be careful.
And Donut is cosplaying himself in MPLK8 because this is exactly what Burnix Flash like to do. They will lose early game. They will straight out just give everything over. Team fights, whatever. As long as Donut continues to scale at a steady pace, and right now, despite him being behind, despite him being ganked so much, he actually completed the BOD. So he has the Berserker's Fury, Endless Battle, and BOD. The trio items that you need, but that range, that's the thing. The Novaria, oh, he didn't go for Endless. He went straight for BOD, so that power spike is a bit delayed. He needs to get that Endless, or yeah, he's already building towards it. So there you go.
But here again, Keyboy already has the Twilight armor, so he can take a bit of damage from Donut. So I'm kind of thinking that Boots as well as Kyrie will be building towards the Twilight armor as well. So Donut, he really has to select his targets carefully to make sure that he really impacts in the game. And you guys were talking about how D7 is cosplaying Boots. Let's talk about Boots. 4-1-0. He's having a very good game on this Yuzong.
He is. It's a power pick, right? It's very, very comfort for him as well, for him to use. He's used it a lot for how many seasons already, so definitely something that he didn't have to really adapt with. But another thing that I really wanted to highlight is the fact that, let's say Donut gets that power. Oh, what?
ATM.
All right, ATM's fine, ATM's fine.
Getting chunked quite a bit there.
Yeah, but let's say Donut gets to that power spike, right? The problem is, Leslie is single target, right? So even if she does get that damage, she gets the crit, she gets the true damage as well, how much of an impact can she have if CW is already full item?
Oh, it's still big. It's still
It's still
massive.
big, yeah.
Like CW on his own gets countered by the Leslie, right? So again, CW can't just go in randomly with the Blazing Duet. They need to target Donut. And the thing is, Burnix Flash's composition is already playing around Donut. The Joy and the Fredrin, most importantly, are there to just prolong the team fights, to give the Leslie more time, more space, to poke them down slowly but surely. That true damage builds up.
Just now it hit quite a bit. Chama, Kyrie, they're eyeing each other down in terms of level. Kyrie will hit level 15 a bit earlier compared to Chama. And now Keyboy manages to get CCAT, but no one is close enough. CW is there, but Keyboy's gonna get taken down by ATM. And now CW and Sans, they're trying to kite away. Boots from the backline. Black Dragon form goes after Donut, and Donut gets petrified. Donut still survives, but Sans gets the kill spree. But Boots gets taken down by CCAT. And now both teams are not looking at the Lord, they're looking at the kills. Both teams sacrifice quite a bit just now.
Yeah, 2-for-1 trade, and that was nearly not worth it for Onyx, if not for the range and the targeting that Sans has. And you've got to give him a bit of props, right? Novaria's second skill isn't as easy to target.
Oh no.
You know, it's quite difficult, but he still manages. And once again, more aggression as both of these teams, emphasis emphasis on the next Lord.
Look at CW, ATM doing quite a lot of damage, and now Keyboy finds one. Does he want to get a kick? But no, not yet. Kyrie, as well as Chama, are there. Kyrie secures it. Kyrie gets the Lord. But Zika with a real manipulation. Right now, Keyboy gets pushed away, and Kyrie gets taken down by Zika. Donut gets killed onto Keyboy. Even though Onyx gets the Lord, CW gets away with a slither of health.
Way too aggressive there by Onyx, and Donut makes them pay for it. Remember again, Donut is the key member on Burn X Splash in this game that Leslie needs to scale. The fact that he got a kill earlier will give him more, and the fact that Onyx got the Lord, it actually will be good for Burn X Splash because the Lord will be cleared up, and that will give Donut more gold to play with. He's gonna be farming, he's gonna be able to hit that power spike. And earlier, before the Lord, when Donut got picked off, 2 for 1. On paper, it's not worth it for Onyx, but it was worth it for Onyx. As long as Donut doesn't have game time, doesn't have the time to roam around, get gold, it should be better for Onyx. Ooh,
that was close.
Sublime reaction time from CW.
That was, wait a minute.
Manipulation, Hughes, and right now CW is gonna get pushed away from the fight. ATM is making sure that he does not contribute, and Sans almost gets ATM quite an initiation. Start off by Burn X Flash, but Onyx manages to get away.
Oh, that was too close for comfort, right? That was beautiful. And talking about in-game equipment, now I understand, right? Now I see the damage and the, not just like the single target damage that makes an impact, right? But just that kiting.
The kiting, the cancel, and now he's actually building towards Wind of Nature.
Yeah.
So he has
That's the big difference here.
That's so bad.
Big difference here.
That's what we mentioned, right? The trio items is what he needs to deal damage, and after that he can go for Wind of Nature, and then, if the game goes even longer, second BOD. With that second BOD, it's almost a guaranteed win. Keyboy?
Sees D7, he wants the kick, but D7, beautiful, managing to get himself in a position that makes it so that he can run away. Real world manipulation used by CCAT, CW, half HP, but no one from Burning Splash can actually go for it. D7 now knows that Keyboy wants him for some reason, and he's ready to counter the fact that he's gonna get caught.
It all relies on Keyboy, I believe, now for Onyx. Keyboy and Yuzong. Because it's all about finding Donut. They're like cops.
I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. That was actually very good. I didn't expect that. But now, speaking of not expecting anything, this is a 60-minute game with 9 kills to 9 kills. And now Donut level 15. Same with Kyrie. Same with Chama. So now it's basically an even playing field when it comes to the Lord fights. And definitely look at the roamers, because D7 as well as Keyboy, if they can hit their crowd control on the junglers, not making sure that they can't use the retribution, that might be the difference maker. And as you mentioned, the Wind of Nature is going to be huge in this fight.
I think at this point, they don't even need to try to win that for Onyx. All Keyboy needs to do is kick D7 actually. Let Kyrie 50-50, because on a Bellman, it's never a 50-50. And now, the Yuzong can't even dive the Donut with the Wind of Nature, so it really relies on Keyboy. Keyboy needs to get a good kick. ATM jumping in.
ATM is looking for CW. CW's at the back, and right now they're trying to zone away Boots as well as Kyrie. Keyboy finds Chama. Doesn't want to kick just yet. Right now, looking at the situation, Burning Splash, they want to force a fight. Donut, you're in a very dangerous situation. Keyboy finds Donut! Donut gets kicked back! Mega kill for Sans! Boots gets D7! Keyboy has to use his immortality, double kill for Boots. Boots is really carrying Onyx right now. Chama and Seacat tries to run away. This is a very bad fight for Burn X Splash, and Onyx wins it all!
Oh my god, that was beautifully done. And look at Sans and his confidence as he's dealing that damage onto CCAT. They're gonna go for the top side aggression here into that bottom side. But it seems like Kyrie's still gonna go for the Lord here.
10 seconds under that timer. They can actually go for the end here. CCAT is getting zoned.
Yeah, right now the minions are going in. CCAT uses the real manipulation, but it's not gonna help out Onyx Esports. Onyx Indonesia starting the game with 2-0.
GG, well played. Struggling there against the home ground team, but inevitably they were able to recover, stay in their pace, and do as they're told. They understood the assignment. Cho, Keyboy, he was the key. Yuzong, he was just a distraction. That solo conceal play really did Donut dirty.
You could really say that Cho just now was the key boy.
Oh man, he was the key.
He was the key, man. No, I'm not gonna do that. But either ways, starting off MSC, we already got a lot of crazy picks. The debut for Novaria, we see the Balman. The Bane has been banned. It's just the first series of MSC, and we can already see changes after the patch.
For sure, for sure. Novaria is going to definitely be just a hero that we always see banned out, right? Because that was a little too much. Like we mentioned in the game, you had the mobility, you had the range, and you had the damage. And this is actually a statement coming in from Onyx as well, right? A lot of people have doubted them. A lot of people have said that on the international stage, they choke. But this first match against Burnex Flash, a team that has the home advantage, it sets the tone for perhaps maybe the rest of the tournament.
I would say it's a statement for both of the teams, right? Burnex Flash as well. Coming into this, a lot of people completely wrote them off.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Home ground advantage doesn't matter, a lot of people say, but it definitely did matter. They popped off when it mattered. Game number one, I honestly feel like we saw Burnex Flash outclassing Onyx in game number one.
Great.
It was one mistake that turned the tides around. And if Burnex Flash continues this pace of improvement, if they continue to adjust this way, I think you can actually expect them to be contenders, even in this group stage, because a lot of people, again, wrote them off. Outplay Onyx. Those were the predictions for most of the talents as to who will go through to the next stage.
Honestly, looking at the crowd as well, Burnex Flash walking off, everyone still cheered. They were still proud of their team, and I kind of feel like that's actually a very good motivator because, again, you're going up against Onyx Indonesia, where we see how strong they were in their own region, and the fact that Burnex Flash could give that big of a challenge, I kind of feel like even the audience, they're like, okay, you know what? There's a very good chance we could go all the way.
Man, I'm proud of them.
A burn? Yeah.
I'm super proud. I'm super
I'm
stoked.
feeling Cambodian right now.
Me
I'm
too.
feeling very Khmer.
Me too. We just
Jump
get the
and serve.
flag.
Jump Rip Sur, such a day. But for the MVP, it's not going to be Cambodian. It's going to be an Indonesian player, and it's Key Boy, because he was the key boy. Cho. I said Kufra, he says Cho. And here, honestly, even in the itemization, I don't think there's much to talk about, because on Cho, it's all about the freestyle. It's all about how
definitely.
you can get those cheeky and unique engages.
Because Cho is not a frontline, man. Even though technically when you have the items, you could frontline, but it's all about getting those CCs onto the right target. In the very final fight, I saw the positioning from Donut, and I'm like, Donut, you're in a very bad position. After the Novaria ult made sure that Donut was slowed, is GG.
Let's take a look at the MVP highlights here for game number 2. What was Key Boy able to do the entire game? Well, here, not a good show, the MVP for this specific highlight moment, but throughout the game, he was always up in front, zoning and understanding every, I would say, limit on the heroes. Even ATM there, when he popped the vengeance, that's when he decides to pick ATM away. And a few times, Key Boy as well, he notices that, you know what, if a few of my teammates die, if they are overextending, I will not follow them. I am the roamer, but I need to be the one looking for these spaces. In this particular situation, he was trying his best to just help Kyrie out of that position, maybe go for Donut, but this is where it really shined. That conceal, backdoor play. Donut didn't have a chance there. I mean, what were you supposed to do as Donut? You have a flicker, you have a win of nature, but you do not have anti-CC. Once you get kicked, once you get petrified, I think it's pretty much over. On top of that, you can't escape.
Yeah.
Leslie's main maybe strength in a lot of these team fights is her invisibility. The Novaria completely negates that.
Honestly, the only thing that he could do was pray and hope for Keyboy and Boots both made a mistake.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They didn't choke at the end, and they got what they wanted. And now let's look at the items.
For Boots, I mentioned earlier that maybe he wants to go for the Heptases. You know, he got more room, more space to go for just Assassin build, but he went for the Norm. The Hunter Strike is a bit more reliable here in the long-term skirmishes, and especially considering Donut has so much PL, it makes more sense to just go for that Hunter Strike. Meanwhile, I think I just really want to highlight Burn X Flash. See, Donut, I think the better item would have been Immortality. I think he kind of tunnel vision, he thought about the Win of Nature, but sure, you can escape from a lot of the physical damage coming in, but the main thing that is stopping Donut isn't damage, it's CC.
the reason why I think he went for the Wind of Nature is look at his gold. It's only 7,000 compared to Chaman, compared to ATM, compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
He was really lacking in the gold. So I kind of feel like having the Immortality, which is about 2,000 something, the Wind of Nature around 1,900, I kind of feel like he didn't have another choice.
Yeah, he was heavily pressured even from that early game, right? We mentioned about that matchup in particular, but looking at the post-game stats here, damage dealt Sans, right? 80,666 on the Novaria. So this sets the tone of what we can expect when the Novaria gets picked up. That's how much damage and impact she's able to have in the game.
I've played Novaria. I've seen my friends play Novaria. I've seen Lafel play Novaria. He's not my friend, because he's my best friend. Anyways.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I've seen good Novarias. But I always expected the pro players to be on a different level. Yeah, I think it delivered. I think Sans definitely delivered here. It almost seems like the map was always open.
I feel like Novaria is one of those heroes that's kind of easy to learn, but hard to master. Kind of like
Very high skill cap.
Very high skill cap, because we see if Sans did not hit those shots, he wouldn't have this amount of damage. And the thing is, hitting those
useless.
Hitting those shots is one thing. Hitting on the right targets, man.
Yeah, I don't know how he does that.
And it's important, right? Because there were so many moments in the game where if he hadn't taken that final shot, a lot of things would have ended a lot differently, right? He was able to just give Onyx a more balance and more men, basically, more
men?
More source of power to utilize in those team
to
fights.
play with.
I like sources of men better.
Nice.
Sources of men is catchier than
reference.
resources.
I see the reference.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So it's not Key Boy, it's Key Man.
Key Man.
I called Sully Boy Sully. Man.
Wait, so we started this matchup, right, with 2 interviews. We had one from Donut and one from Keyboy.
Exactly.
For Donut, he said that he is better than CW. So from that game, we can basically, say something about that. Let's start with you, Lafel. What do you think? CW Donut.
No. I kind of feel like in this kind of situation, CW is like, if you're very sure, but I got Boots. Boots is a very nice guy, by the way. You know what?
So in conclusion, Boots is better than both.
Boots is better than both.
For right now.
He's like, you know what? Be careful, CW. Let me go forward.
Yeah.
Let me petrify. Let me get the kill.
He even told Donut to be careful.
Yeah,
Be careful, Donut.
careful,
I'm
Donut.
diving, but someone else is coming from behind, and it's Key Man.
He actually did.
Yeah.
And speaking about Keyboy, getting that MVP, that should have felt really nice, man.
He told me privately, in private, he told me, I'm the best roamer in Indonesia. I should have played.
Oh, man. He got kind of a small taste of the redemption that he was looking for here during MSC. But ladies and gentlemen, that was only match number 1. We still have another match ahead of us. It's going to be Evo versus Echo. We're going to see them finally on the stage. We'll see you after the break.
Okay, man, you here for the Outplay beat? Yes, I am. How you doing? All right, nice to meet you. How you meet who? Man, so I've been actually watching their YouTube channel for a lot of time now, so okay, what we here for? You out here for the Outplay beat too? Yeah. Hey, man. What's up? Who's the biggest Outplay fan right here? Yes.
Hello, you're at the OP Meetups. First of all, thank you so much for coming and supporting us with my team. Let's have some fun. Thank you guys. Yes, keep it up, guys. Welcome in. Come on. So I've been following, the main reason is Hoon. So I've been following Hoon since his days from the Gosu team. And then I've been following him, and the only reason I like the OP is like mainly I would say because of him.
My favorite is probably Hoon because he's more active and it seems like he's on live more than the other players. Yeah, so I just watch him a lot before I go to bed.
You flew from where? Sacramento. So you're here just for the meetup? Wow. Yeah, but thanks for coming, and then we got a little gift for you. For coming. Here you go, jersey. Thank you. I just found out that there's a first person in line. Daryl? Oh, right there. Here's your hoodie for it. Sir.
I think Outplay is going to win only because I'm biased.
I have a shirt to give out, and then I want to do 1v1 with someone, and then winner takes it. Does anyone want to try me? You want to do it? You want to do it? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Booga Bill. Booga Bill.
My favorite OP moment up till now is how they displayed such a dominant performance through the regular season as well as the playoffs. Everything they did that got them right here.
They flew out hot after their grand finals performance in FPL Philippines Season 10. And here we're seeing the rivalry of a century. The age of the Orcas is now. Echo are your M4 world champions. Echo books their ticket to MST and the grand finals. A rematch against Blacklist International. A rematch. Blacklist International and Echo taking the rivalry form from Season 10, taking the rivalry continued in M4. Now here we are in the grand finals of Season 11.
This is destiny moving in a way na parang kailangan pa nila mag-meet. Yung M4 World Championship, nakita natin kung ano yung naging resulta doon, nanalo yung Echo, and parang binigyan ng tadhana ng panahon na makabawi yung Blacklist or yung Echo para ma-ensure na sila talaga ang pinakamalakas na Filipino team.
Pwede po kami ngayon sa last day ng playoffs po sa Grand Final.
Ganyan po kami ng clear ng pag-iisip and discipline po yung sabihin natin magandang maging kalabang ng crowd.
Blacklist International will now respect back the Franco and the Kaja.
Alam nila po yun, no?
Binibigay Dragon ni Sanford for the third pick. After kasi ng Season 10 Grand Finals, marami ang nagsabi na kaya din nanalo ang Blacklist kasi parang naubusan ng echo sa kanilang mga binaong strat. Ngayon parang ang dami.
Parang malulutod siya tayo eh.
Oo.
It's going to be Hanik.
Okay.
Balir. Boss 5.
Hindi ganun kaganda ang ultimate ng isang balir. So, masasabi natin medyo explain ka para sa Valentina. Hindi sila kumuha ng ganun kaganda yung ultimate.
Yep.
And at the same time, para ma-force yung Valentina na real world manipulation lagi kukunin ko. Can Blacklist International do the reverse? Pero ngayon siya atay na masobra dahil siya ni Edward dito, a beautiful switch onto the mid lane. Pero si Cortez hindi ata papayag na walang kapalit. Pero nabitin ng bahagya yung maaari niyang tawiran doon sa mga minions mula sa mid lane. Nakutod ba siya? Makikita ba siya ni Carl? Kaputata. King Wise.
Walang referee.
Natawan sila dito ng orange buff. Kaso nga lang siya ay may ipit sa tatlo. Wise dito, may pansalba nga ba si Omoy Pino sa Pleasure's Rock. Sakto yung bitaw. Kaso nga lang hindi umabot yung altar. Omoy Pino's trying to zone everyone. Pero look at Sanji. Dumarap. Ito na, pasok King Wise. Ulit si Yawi. O si Yawi nga talaga maging target nila. Hindi na nga ito makatakas pa. Tungkol sa real world manipulation. Kaso nga lang natuhog sila dito. Ng execution. Owl and Omoy Pinos will go down. Pero si Edward naman naghanap na pwedeng ulihin. Naghanap siya na pwede sa punutan. Pero pwede naman silang umulit pa ng isa. At makabuha nga talaga. Kaso nga lang si Carl. Sobrang kunat. Sobrang sakit. Sobrang dulas. Lahat na ibigay mo sa kanya. And sasabayan pa. Saban force the force. Pero andun din yung pagtulak ni Yawi upang mapigilan niya yung pagtakas ni The Queen. Sinabi na ni Wolf, every time na may dragon, may follow-up na dalawa na hindi walang on skill. Ganon din naman yung Eve Ultimate. Diyan na naman yung dragon ni Sanford. Talagang mag-push away dito sa members ng Blacklist International. Pero si Edward na nakapwesto, so meron silang info. Maaari silang umabol, kaso nga lang sobrang tapong ni Carl. Aray, alam niyang wala talaga mag-burst down sa kanya, kaya sobrang tapong nila kung pumasok. Wise goes down.
Nagkaroon na magandang pwesto si Sanji, pati na rin si Yawi.
Subok tumama ng Blacklist International pero hindi ito dragon ni Sanford. Hahabulin talaga yung madabang line pero masyado atang maagang na pop yung altar. Kaya naman sila ay magpapanish bigla. Wise is down. Wala na yung retry holder pero marinisip na naman yung Lord. Habang nakapasok dito, bago ka naman tutulak ng isang Yawi. Tapos may paamoy-amoy pa, may palagkit-lagkit pa. Pero si The Queen na magsisave sa kanya. My goodness, go easy sa Young Gold. Blacklist International, they want the retaliation play. Dito na nagalit ang mga agents. Biglang may mission accomplished. Pasok si Carl this time. Nais sila dumipensa dito mula sa push na nais ng win ng Blacklist International. May init nga lang dito si Yue, pero hapulit pa rin naman talaga nila. At lang andun yung altar. Pero hindi mag-iinang para i-save si Yue. Mahinit at ang members ng Blacklist International dito sa may dalawin na. Nakashoot na rin yung mga spells na pwede na gamitin sana. So yung Echo, may Echo sila. Wala yung mga spells, wala yung mga skills. Maaari tayong umarangkada. And it just snap. What's in play though? Wala ka na may si Aul na talaga ang bibigyan nila. Nandito na rin naman yung dragon. Wala na si Aul. Wala na yung damage na asahan ng Blacklist International. Yung Echo, sila na ngayon na magde-decide na rekta tayo sa Lord. Na sila sa mid lane. Sakto lang din yung pagbitaw noong dragon. Tapos yung altar binitawan na rin at si Corti, si Tatahi pa. May pirma pa sa base ng Blacklist International. Sakto yung mga tusok. Kaso nga lang low na rin sila. Pero nakuha nila si Wise. Pero makapag-regen din naman agad yung members ng Blacklist International. Madedepensahan nila yung Lord. Kaso nga lang may parating pang minions. Medyo makapal mula doon sa bottom lane. At meron pang kasabay sa mid lane. Will this be it? Will Blacklist International manage to defend this? Dahil yung Echo ayaw na naman papigil. Okay, tingnan natin. Pasok ngayon. Oh my Venus, sabay saman force naman ni Very Cute. Hahabol na naman sila sa gitna. Mukha mahulin na dito si Queen. Pero mabilis pa naman yung death timer. Si Immortality pump ka lang para kay Edward. Naabangan nila na may inward manipulation pa. And yung minions na sapat ata. Hahabulin na sila ng mga Orca. Pero ngayon, tuloy pa rin ang depensa. Pero ang goal ng Echo ay yung base. Ay yun ng LPLPA Season 11. Let's go!
I came this far, nothing can stop me now. They got me down, but they can't count me out. I can't lose, I won't lose.
Hindi kinalaban ng Orcas ang Blacklist International. But the better team came up on top.
I'ma keep winning. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself. Yeah, you gon' need 100 men, 100 scopes, 100 cans, just for you to watch what I'm doing under the sun again. God give a gift, them seeds to win the running man. If you want me to get it poppin', may cost 100 pence. Yeah, what I supply is always in the middle. The throne is mine, take that. And then a high five got the upper hand. I'm too real, can't fake that. Who you know putting fear in them like this? You a vampire, still suck when you bite this. They didn't think I could do it, I had to demonstrate how the flow is so heavenly, keeping demons straight. Who they fooling? I showed them the jig is up again. When I ask them who is the best, they get to stuttering. Tell them I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. I'ma keep winning. You can try to save yourself, but you wanna go play yourself.
Selamat datang tuan-tuan dan puan-puan di kejuaraan dunia Mobile Legends Black M4.
Big difference. Sebab dekat M4 nampak macam diorang ada identity crisis. They're not sure how they want to play the game. They're not sure who's going to be the carry, what kind of rotation that we're going to use.
Contohnya macam Momo cover lebih daripada satu role, Siku juga lebih daripada 2 role sekalipun dia cover. Jadi ini membuatkan pasukan tu terlalu, boleh saya katakan sedikit berselaru, hilang identiti.
Lapun digugurkan ketika ini. Sedih, ya. Kecewa, ya. Tapi apa lagi yang perlukan? Apa lagi yang kita kurang sebenarnya untuk membawa jalur gemilang ke Grand Final di peringkat yang lebih tinggi?
But for this season, like you said, they're very focused. Chiku, you only play gold lane. Chiku, you only think about how we're going to win. And everyone else is going to provide the coverage for Chiku guys. So for this season, it's definitely different where they're very focused on their own style of play, which is the Langga playstyle. But now it's almost like the lawan balik kind of Langga, where you're trying to make the opponent fight you, and then you win the fight eventually.
Bila player dengan coach Philippines masuk ni, dia lain sikit daripada kebiasaan kita orang buat lah. Selalu dia lebih kepada disiplin.
At first, it's hard because of the language. There are those times that I cannot understand them and they cannot understand me. But me and Jim figured it out, like, okay Jim, I will tell you the instructions, then you translate it to them. So that's what happened. That's why our work get easier because of it.
Masukan coach dia, saya rasa dia lebih ke arah disiplin lah. Sebab kita ni tak ada disiplin sangat. So bila dah ada dia ni, kita orang lebih ke arah disiplin. And ingatlah motif kita nak main dan tujuan kita main sebab
So I've known Chiku before he entered Toda. So I've known him for a while now, and I feel like he really did not change much. And yes, he is comfortable on camera, but he's more comfortable in stream. So maybe the viewers online are not as intimidating as the viewers in person.
Perbezaannya yang telah dapat. Perbezaan, dulu saya single kan, saya dah kahwin.
Kalau Ciku ni sebelum kahwin ni dia jenis kaki langgar, tak kisah kalau sebelum ni punis kan girlfriend dia kan, dia langgar je punis tu. Sekarang ni dah kahwin tu dia macam okey ni wife aku kena jaga dia tak langgar dah. Itu Ciku lah.
I think he's an absolute legend. I think that he really pushes the agenda and he really knows how to test the limits, or at the very least, very situationally aware of what he's capable of on a particular marksman. Although the meta has shifted and Chiku has definitely changed roles, he has to evolve with the times. I feel that Chiku is still at the age where he's adaptable, but age is eventually going to catch up to him at some point, and we just don't know when.
Kalau bagi saya selagi saya rasa saya boleh main, walaupun tak macam orang lain kan macam kalau main macam pasal main. Tapi bagi saya benda tu tak penting, dia lebih ke arah on point lah. So selagi saya boleh on pointkan benda-benda yang penting, lagi tu saya akan main lah. Kalau dah sampai masa tak boleh, stop lah.
Ramai orang yang toksik, ramai orang yang maki, kata suruh keluar Toda, Moon dengan Ciku suruh keluar Toda apa semua. But in the end of the day, kita orang sendiri dapat buat lah. So bersyukur saya sangat kepada Allah SWT yang memberi kita orang kawan-kawan yang macam family macam ni. So Alhamdulillah sangat-sangat lah.
Here from MPL Malaysia.
It's Mirko from Indonesia.
Here from California.
It's North America's favorite caster here.
Santiago from IGSG.
From Echo Philippines.
I'm Yawi from Echo Philippines. I am Remy from Pine Sport. I am from Myanmar.
I'm Shma, one of the junglers in Cambodia.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. جمهور موبايل ليجند الكريم منورين، أحلى عيلة وأحلى جمهور في الدنيا.
And I just want to tell you guys all to get hype and to get excited for MSC 2023.
All the underdogs are coming from across the world to go and compete against the pros, against the favorites.
With
that being said, hashtag see the world and hashtag roar for MSC.
Roar for MSC.
And Kotoda, got Tukul, and Langga semua betul-betul. Alright?
Hashtag roar for MSC. Hashtag see the world.
Kamu cari sini. Roar for MSC and see the world.
Hashtag roar for MSC. Hashtag see the world. GG RG.
Roar for MSC and see the world.
And Shark, I know you're hungry for first place.
Outplay them, outclass them, outstyle them. Let's go get them, boys.
See the world, roll for MSC. Don't forget to watch us in MSC.
I hope you support us on MSC. See the world and roar for MSC.
It's time to roar for MSC and hashtag see the world.
Project Next was born from your passion, fueled by your hopes and expectations. At times, we stumbled, but you were there to support us. And when we succeeded, you were there to cheer us on. Now it's time to start the next chapter together. Creating bigger and better experiences. And telling new stories and legends. Let's treasure every moment together. Celebrate every accomplishment. Your love and dedication is what makes all this possible. Together, let's shape the future of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Next for you.
menjadi tahun bersejarah saat Onyx Esports menjadi tim Indonesia pertama yang menjuarai MSC. Tangguh, itulah satu kata yang tepat untuk menggambarkan Onyx Esports. Pada MPL Indonesia Season 11 babak playoff, Onyx tak terkalahkan satu game pun. Secara 2 tahun beruntun, MPL ini menjadi panggungnya Onyx Esports dengan mengalahkan Blacklist Internasional di 2021 dan Geek Fam di 2022. Menemani Onyx Esports, EVOS Legends mendapatkan julukan The King of Comeback pada MPL Indonesia Season 11. Sang Harimau Biru telah menjadi tim Indonesia dan dunia pertama yang menjuarai M-Series. Mereka juga membawa nama Indonesia melambung tinggi di IESF 2022 dengan mengalahkan Filipina. Catatan sejarah telah diraih kedua tim Indonesia. Dan kini, Onyx Esports bersama EVOS Legends siap untuk bertarung untuk mengukir sejarah baru di panggung internasional MSC 2023. Berikan dukungan terbaik kalian untuk tim Indonesia.
រៀបចំសិក្ខាសាលាពិតជាមានសារៈសំខាន់ហើយក៏ដូចជាខាងក្រុមការងារបានរៀបចំការងារយ៉ាងល្អ
នៅពីមុនក៏ខ្ញុំអត់សូវច្បាស់ដែរតែដល់ពេលគាត់និយាយថាបើយើងចង់ក្លាយជា professional player យើងត្រូវ set target មិនអីមិនមានអាជីពជាច្រើនដែលយើងអាចធ្វើការទៅជាមួយ e-sport
ខ្ញុំចាក់អារម្មណ៍លើ content creator បងចូលចិត្តខាង create video ខាងកាត់តអីចឹងបងលើស្រីដែរតែលេង game ចឹងគេអាប៉ាម៉ាក៏អត់សូវ support មកទេប៉ុន្តែបើយើងមានគោលដៅច្បាស់លាស់ហើយយើងប្រាប់ប៉ាម៉ាយើងគាត់នឹងអាចប្រកម្លាំងទៅដល់យើងអាចទៅមុខបានខ្ញុំបាន inspire ខ្លាំងទៅតងមួយចំណេះដឹងកីឡាហើយលើកទឹកចិត្តខ្មែរយើងនឹងអភិវឌ្ឍច្រើនជាងហ្នឹងនឹងមានអ្នកជាច្រើនទៀតដែលគាត់បានស្គាល់ប្រទេសរបស់
Project Next was born from your passion, fueled by your hopes and expectations. At times, we stumbled, but you were there to support us. And when we succeeded, you were there to cheer us on. Now it's time to start the next chapter together. Creating bigger and better experiences. And telling new stories and legends. Let's treasure every moment together. Celebrate every accomplishment. Your love and dedication is what makes all this possible. Together, let's shape the future of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. Next, for you.
For 6 years, Southeast Asia have been the conquerors of the Land of Dawn. But now, new competitors have arisen, hungry to vanquish C's dominance. 12 teams will come to battle. Only one can be champion. In this MSC, the 12 qualified teams compete in 2 stages. First, the group stage, and then the knockout stage. The group stage starts with a draw. The champions of MPL Indonesia, MPL Philippines, MPL Malaysia, and MSC 2023 Myanmar qualifier are placed in Pool 1. All other competing teams are placed in Pool 2. Pool 1 teams will be distributed across 4 groups: A, B, C, and D. The other 8 teams will be drawn from Indonesia and MPL.
Ready for the better cry with our might and stride. We're against the heavens, to the fire, to the sky. Keep burning bright, kill the allies and enemies mesmerized. Strive for domination. Feel the pressure rising. The fight with your life and for your nation. With your devotion and motion. Lay it on the line, the choice is yours. Offense or defense, let the courage pour. Reaching for your heart, it's up to soar. Now or never, time to rise. We will try for more. Take the world by storm, time to see the world. To the land of dawn as we see the world. We're fighting to build a legacy in this better ground for kings. We fight. Let's with cheers and pride. Ready for the battle cry. With our might and stride. War against the heavens, set the fire to the sky. Keep burning bright, kill the allies. Enemies mesmerize. Strive for domination. Feel the pressure rising. The fire with your life and for your nation. With your devotion and motion. Lay it on the line. The choice is yours. Offense or defense. Let the courage war. Reaching for your heart. It's time to soar. Now or never, time to rise. We will strive for more. Fighting to build a legacy in this battleground for kings. We're here to show the world that we're the chosen one that brings the heat, the passion, the heart, the soul, and the fury. Show it all, let the world see. We are legends, stepping on the ground. No time to waste, striving to conquer. Face the foes, great grace, be the challenger. It's time to soar. Now or never, time to rise. We will strive for more. Nothing can stop or restrain. We are a force to be reckoned with. There's nothing can to relate. Battle like Atlas, winning with madness. Count us the practice, that is his matchless. We are the heroes, he is the slay. Never back down, under restraint. Jump, jump, ready to lay. Jump, jump, sink or swim. Match by match, day by day. Determination and all that is see the world, we should conquer. S-E-A, see the world, be a warrior. Warrior on the line, the choice is yours. Offense or defense, let the courage roar. Reaching for new heights, it's time to soar. Now or never, time to rise. We will start for take the world by storm. Time to see the world. It's not a fight, let's with cheers and pride. Ready for the battle cry, with our might and stride. War against the heavens, set the fire to the sky. Keep burning bright, kill the allies, and enemies mesmerize. Strive for domination, feel the pressure rising. The fire with your life and for your nation, with your devotion and motion. Lay it on the line. The choice is yours. Offense or defense, let the courage war. Reaching for new heights, it's time to soar. Now or never, time to rise. We will strive for more. Take the world by storm, time to see the world. Let off dawn as we see the world. Fighting to build a legacy in this battleground for kings. We're here to show the world that we're the chosen one that brings the heat, the passion, the heart, the soul, and the fury. Show it all, let the world see. We are legends, stepping on the ground. No time to waste, striving to conquer. Face the foes, great grace, be the shadow. preaching. Nothing can stop what we say. We are a force to be reckoned with. Destiny kingdom and lead. Shining like Atlas, winning with madness. Count us some practice, that is his match. Let's be the heroes, here to slay. Never back down, under restraint. Yo, fatal length. Yo, sing the slam. Match by match.
Still there, yo. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from that short break. We had an intense match, number one, LaFell. Leo, I know you were back there watching. Were you sweating watching it?
I actually wasn't. It's pretty cool here in Aeon Mall, but just the same, happy to be here. That was a close series. Even if it was a sweep, gotta give kudos to Burn X Flash. They gave Onyx a run for their money.
Dude, it didn't feel like a sweep, man. Because all of the games, both games, we really see a lot of mechanical play coming in from Burn X Flash, and I kind of feel like, especially game number one, a lot of Onyx fans, they're looking as like, yo, what's going on?
Definitely, definitely. I think Miracle was like sweating in that particular seat. But before we begin match number 2 of MSC 2023, we want to thank our sponsors. So thank you so much, Moonton, definitely, because MSC 2023 is powered by Moonton, supported by ROG, the official gaming phone, Secret Lab, our official chair partner. Thank you to our lovely sponsors, because MSC wouldn't be possible without your support. And of course, a special shout out to Secret Lab, our official gaming chair partner, where it becomes with a built-in lumbar support system that you guys can adjust to your spine, an incredible magnetic memory foam head pillow, and brand new fabrics to enhance the perfect designs. Enjoy the same performance advantage trusted by the world's biggest esports tournaments at secretlab.co.
Real quick, let me tell everybody about the new MSC Pass. It's available from the 5th of June all the way till the 18th, till the end, when we crown a new champion. You can grab it for only 719 diamonds, down from 899 diamonds. Purchase the pass and you can get Atlas, Rune, Sentinel, and 3,500 MSC coins immediately. On top of that, you can also enjoy a bonus of double task rewards. MSC return skin, Jawhead Space Explorer, Claude's Earth's Mightiest, and other rich rewards await you when you redeem them too. Aside from that, you can complete all MSC pass tasks and make all guesses correctly. You can redeem Atlas, Rune, Sentinel in MSC Event Shop for free.
Yep, get ready to enjoy the fight. Explore the MSC Pass, hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag See the World, hashtag MSC 2023. And I gotta say, the very first day, I instantly bought it because again, roamer main, I gotta get the Atlas kit, man.
Oh man, you haven't roamed for me yet.
Oh, I haven't?
You haven't.
Oh,
maybe after this?
Yeah,
maybe
after
this.
definitely.
Maybe after this. But
let's ban out the Diggy. That'd be great.
We need to ban out the Diggy for sure. But let's get back into the next upcoming match. It's going to be Echo Philippines going against Evo from Mekong. And the highlight of this matchup is the fact that this is the sea predator, right? The orcas, the top of the food chain, the apex predators going against literally the dark horse, as the logo shows.
Some would argue that this might actually be a matchup between the top of the food chain versus one who has a questionable standing. There's very little going on in the Mekong region, and one thing that goes for Team Evo is they are the team that actually knocked out an MSC all-timer. It's now Team Evo instead of I Do Not Sleep.
Here's the thing, man. As an analyst for quite a while, I don't believe in absolutes. I look at the numbers, and sometimes the numbers don't matter. Now, if we're looking at this, the disparity is a little bit too big. So yes, definitely a lot will be going on to Echo, saying that it's gonna be a win. But after the first match of the day, I'm still giving hope. Evo could really do something here.
There's definitely a chance that they could cause an upset today, right? Because we didn't expect that performance coming in from Burn X Flash as well, but yet they were still able to make Onyx sweat. And that's a huge level of performance coming in from these teams. So looking at the players, right, from both these teams, we got to highlight the roamers in particular. And from the side of Echo, it's going to be Yaoi at number 1.
That's right, aka the Lover Boy, as he was previously known. At M4, he made a new name for himself, the Playmaker. I somehow agree with this. I don't know. Dreams and Yums, 4 and 5, just right out of the top 3. LaFell, your boy Yums?
Honestly, it's very interchangeable here because Dreams and Yums, they play very differently, where Dreams is really trying to activate his goal inner. Yums could do that as well, but I kind of feel like Yums, depending on the hero that he's using, it's going to be way different, especially because Yums is one of those players that don't mind playing the Eve as a roamer.
And talking about roamer, right, I just got info from Leo that the main player from the side of EVO is not going to be playing. So 20 August, the main pillar for EVO, out of the board.
We will get more confirmation on that and see exactly who is playing in the main 5 for Team EVO. But yes, your name, their jungler, needs his roamer, needs 20 August, who we've seen last in action, mainly in SEA Games, right?
Yeah.
He's an amazing Lolita, an amazing Atlas, different breed of Kaja from what I've seen. But yeah, word on the street is he might not be here for game 1.
Here's the thing, good or bad, they gotta suck it up, man. Like, this is the main 5 that they're playing with, because again, we gotta have full confirmation once they're on the stage, then we can really see, because again, changing up the roamers is good and bad. Good is that your opponent will know what's going on, and bad, maybe even you don't know what's going on.
We don't know.
It's a double-edged sword, man. It's
It really is.
A lot can happen.
That's true.
One way to throw off the lover boy is one way to say, hey, playmaker, make this. Who is this? Who is this roamer? What?
That's true. That's definitely true. That's something that they could definitely work with, because they need everything that they can work with right now. Sure, Echo has been just dominating everywhere. I don't really think that we need to highlight that anymore. Yeah. Everyone knows that they have just been a monster. They've improved so much. They can even be said as the kryptonites of Blacklist, who we know used to dominate the regions over SEA too.
Which makes an interesting rock, paper, scissors. It makes an interesting ecosystem, right? Get it? Ecosystem?
Right.
So
pretty good.
If previously Blacklist was up here, and Blacklist defeats the world from M3, and Echo defeats Blacklist, in effect, Echo defeats the whole thing. And that's where we are now. Honestly, I just have to say, it's so difficult and it's hard to find anybody right now in MSC, nay the world, step up to Echo.
You know what? As a Malaysian, I believe in the rock, paper, scissors effect. I'm just happy RQ isn't here. I'll be sweating for Toda, man, because for some reason, we can't do anything against them. So you know what? It's a good start for Malaysians in MSC.
That's historic.
That's historic. That's historic. Like, they keep fighting each other. It's like, no. This time, let's hope for a difference.
Man, I really want to talk about Todak, but we can't. We gotta focus. We gotta focus on EVO, right? We gotta focus, because initially, right, when we think about Mekong, Laos, we think about Thailand, we think about IDNS, that's usually the representative. Now, with EVO coming through, this is going to be they're very new to the stage, right? They're very new to this international stage. So, do you think that might affect them and their performance?
All right, here's the thing. You mentioned the Mekong region. You mentioned their neighbors in Thailand. You know who else is a neighbor of Thailand and Laos?
Who?
Cambodia.
You're right.
They are, some would argue, driving a distance away. So with that being said, I think there might be some level of a hometown buff. I don't know, you guys were casting game 1, right? You saw how Burn X Flash actually took it to the distance with Onyx. Something tells me maybe there may be some Laotians in the house. Maybe, just maybe, right?
I mean, personally for me, I just want a very close game, because again, I want to see, I saw Onyx sweat, I was happy. I want to see Echo sweat as well, because again, in this series, because the group stages, again, the change of format is punishing for the teams that have a very slow start. So I kind of feel like even if EVO could not take down Echo, as long as they put up a very big fight, that it really internalized Echo as like, okay guys, we got to take this MSC very, very seriously. It's going to be an amazing MSC overall. So again, this game, I just want to see what EVO can do. Echo, I've seen plenty.
Realistically speaking, the real threat here is if EVO takes a point away from Echo. That's where it's really going to matter. Is because right now, I am sweating bullets for Burn X Flash. It's because they suffered a sweep, so that means when they go into head-to-head, when you look at Group C, how do we make it through to knockouts? That's what's happening right now, is if we're going to calculate it, despite how close matches are, right? Realistically speaking, despite how close this match may be, for EVO, they still need that one to rock Group A.
That's what I wanted to touch on, right? Group A. How are we feeling about this, right? Because people say that this is quite a
predictable group in a way, right? They're in the same group as FIMP as well as Echo and of course Evo, right? So I mean, you know, point blank, you'd say, okay, Echo, and then perhaps like FIMP, and then you'd put Evo.
All right.
But like,
FIMP, Fireflux Impunity, our representatives from Turkey, is also quite gimped, right? They don't have their mid laner. They don't have Rosa.
All right.
The market mid laner.
That's true.
From previously known as Incendio Supremacy, right? Rosa's out living life. Rosa had to take prior commitments, school, life things, so get your priorities straight, definitely.
Education's important.
Yes. But I'm sure Fireflux Impunity took the risk, and again, just to take that into consideration, even they're not so clear. Even they're not at their fullest.
all right, so still a question mark, right, LaFell?
Yeah, honestly, for me, players, it kind of doesn't matter too much. It's about the team. That's what we want to see.
And on that note, I think we're going to welcome both of these teams on stage here.
Let's go. There are no games if there are no players. To officiate the first series of MSC 2023, we have our marshals here to facilitate the game. They're here to ensure fair play, esports integrity, and address any players and or technical concerns.
Definitely. But we are now going to welcome our first team here.
First up, we have the reigning M4 World Champions in Echo. As we see them marching onto the MSC stage, loud and proud.
They have proved that they are still on form by claiming MPLPH Season 11.
All 5 players of Echo were named in the team of the season selection. They aim to complete the Grand Slam by winning MSC 2023.
Labeled as the underdog of the tournament, representing the Mekong region, let's welcome Team Evo. They are in the position to be the darkest horse of MLED esports history.
They only need to defeat the world champs, not once, but twice in this best of 3 series.
Honestly, looking at this roster, they have everything to prove to everyone, not just in the Southeast Asia region, but throughout the world. A lot is on their shoulders, but I believe they can do it.
Here we have their coaches on stage. It's Coach Tic Tac and Coach Trevor going up against Coach Flash Oni and Bumblebee.
Man, it all starts from the drafts. We cannot stress that enough. All that execution in game, it starts with the masterminds.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at the lineups, the coaches is going to be very, very, I would say, stressed but calm at the same time, because again, looking at the roster, you're kind of thinking like, should I be really thinking about what the opponent is going to bring, or I'm just going to focus on myself? Speaking of which, this is the lineup for Echo, Betty Cutie, Carl TZ, Sanford, Sanji, as well as Yaoi. I would say this is the terrifying 5.
Yeah, you can't really pinpoint to one particular player because like you mentioned earlier, right, all 5 players were the first team last season.
Yep, they are the best of the best, mechanically speaking. And as LaFell said too, right, what's not scary is the individual player, but when they come together, and I think that's what makes Echo so lethal.
Yeah, they make music when they're together. It's certainly a sight to see. But right now we're also going to take a look at the official team lineup here for Evo. So it's Easton, Your Name, Upper, Abby, as well as
Numnim. Confirmed. Numnim, where is 20 August?
Okay, here's the thing, right? Because looking at this lineup, it's very sketchy. But the thing is, this is the top 5 that is representing Mekong. So, of course, they're going to bring a lot to the table because looking as a team, again, we got to emphasize that because I've talked to a lot of professional players that it's no longer the Mobile Legends Bang Bang where one player could really counter everyone. Not one player can 1v9 truly. Right. So we got to look, yes, the rumor has changed, but perhaps as long as they work well together, it should be fine.
Yeah, but this changes all of my notes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I've made so many notes for Evo, centralizing on their roamer, right? On 20 August, so how he plays, the way that the team plays, according how the play styles change from that early, mid to that late game. But it's changed.
No cap has about 3 pages worth of 20 August notes.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Oh,
Talk about
man. Talent prediction from all
Everyone.
the talents,
Yeah.
even from Cambodia as well, all for Echo here.
Can you blame them though?
Even our balls from Ice Frogs, Mengli, and OP on the other desk over there. Yeah, it's hard. It's difficult to wager against our world champion.
It's a steep climb, man. But again, this is why we love the drama, because yeah, a lot of people are looking at Echo. They're gonna win, but wouldn't it be great? Again, I don't want to be biased or anything, but wouldn't it be great to see Evo taking a game?
There's nothing wrong
For
with
sure.
wanting to shake up the MLBB world.
Definitely.
I think we all just want to see that, especially with how different MSC is. Something to know before the draft begins. There are former players amongst both coaching staffs. Coach Flash Oni, this being his first MSC, was once a player for the said team, as well as Bumblebee. Bumblebee played for the women's MLBB team for Team Laos. And then for Echo this time around, Coach Trev was also a player in the MPL.
Oh, and we also have another fact here, formerly known as Candy Comeback, that debuted in M1 back in 2019. The Laotian organization has since tweaked its roster numerous times, and the team has now established itself as the strongest MLBB team in the Mekong region. And I've heard a lot of rumors about them as well. Even Kabe, he's very known in the Indonesian, MLBB world. He's been saying that Evo just has really developed over time, and that's props to the entirety and just like the development of the Mekong region.
In just a few moments, we're going into the draft, and we've seen in just the first series of the day, a lot of new picks have been brought out. The Novaria, the Balman.
Yeah.
I want to see, because we've seen the Bane getting banned out, I want to see if Evo will be picking up some of those recently buffed heroes, and how are they going to use it, especially for Bane, because Bane, there's no wrong way to build him.
That's right. It's a cookie cutter pick. Where would you prefer it? I like seeing Bane in mid.
For me personally, in terms of itemization, if you're going for backline, go physical, man. But if there's a hard front line from the opposing side, might as well go magic, because a lot of damage on that. Oh.
And ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let's welcome you to the drafting phase of game number 1 between Echo Philippines as well as Team Evo representing Mekong. You can see that Echo has first pick, Evo with the second, and very interestingly, just face value, already respect here, right? Glue, Kaja, Faramis taken away from Team Evo, but on the same side, Lancelot and Franco has been taken away too.
I like how Echo is approaching this. Again, given that maybe one of Evo's main strengths is mystery, right? You don't know what they're up to. They're just covering their bases here, right? We don't want no Glue. We don't want no Faramis, just in case there's that duo synergy. And then, okay, Kaja, you're safe. No suppress, actually, with the Franco, too.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's also a very safe ban coming in from Evo, because banning out Carl TC's Lancelot. He just had practice just a few days ago, banning out the Franco as well as the Arlet for now. I kind of feel like they're testing the waters, but Echo, without missing a beat, picking up the 1-1.
That's so risky.
But 1-1 recently got nerfed, though.
Yes.
So is she fine? Is she okay?
I think it's fine, because Kaja and Franco aren't here. So this 1-1 might be able to bounce around, unless Evo tries to pick up the Phobius. We gotta see if they want to do that.
But other than that, there's also still the Diggy that could be picked up, and even straight Purify can actually hurt